whites, and it doesn't mean she has bugs. Okay, so we don't want to be thinking in those terms. So two passages are parallel there. If somebody would read the Mark 12 through 12, 41 through 44.
And Jesus sat over against the treasury and beheld how the people cast money into the treasury. And many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites, which make a farthing. And he called unto him his disciples, and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that this poor widow had cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasury. For all they did cast in of their abundance, but she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living.
Literally all the money that she had. All the money that she had. I don't think too many of us go into church on a Sunday and write a check for all the money we just got. We'll do a 10% in many cases, and sometimes an offering beyond that, beyond the tithe. But this lady gave it all. I mean, everything she had, you know. That's a leap of faith. Okay, someone else, the Luke 21 through 1 through 4.
And he looked up and saw a rich man casting their gifts into the treasury, and he saw also a certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites. And he said, of a truth, I say unto you, that this poor widow has cast in more than they all. For all these have of their abundance cast into the offering of God, but she of her penury has cast in all her living that she had.
Mm-hmm. Penury means poor, of just the quality of being poor. In 128, an explanation of impending death. In John 12, 20 through 50. So that would be 30 passages. Whoever reads that, if you want to split it up, let me know about the 15th passage. Someone?
And there were certain Greeks among them that came upon to worship at the feast. The same came therefore to Philip, which was of Bethsaida of Galilee, and desired him, saying, Sir, we should see Jesus. Philip cometh and telleth Andrew. And again Andrew and Philip tell Jesus. And Jesus answered them, saying, The hour is come, that the Son of Man should be glorified. Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this hour. Father, glorify thy name. Then came there a voice from heaven, saying, I have both glorified it and will glorify it again. The people therefore that stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said, an angel spake to him. Jesus answered and said, This voice came not because of me, but for your sakes. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out. And I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. This he said, signifying what death he should die. The people answered him, We have heard out of the law that Christ abideth forever. And how sayest thou, the Son of Man must be lifted up? Who is the Son of Man? Then Jesus said unto them, Yet a little while is the light with you. Walk while ye have the light, lest darkness come upon you. For that walketh in darkness knoweth not whither he goeth. 36.
Okay, somebody pick up on 36.
While ye have light, believe in the light, that you may be the children of light. These things spake Jesus, and departed, and he did hide himself from them. For though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not him, that the saying of Isaiah prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who have believed our report, and to whom have the arm of the Lord been revealed? Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he had blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, and they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. These things said Isaiah, which he saw his glory, and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue. For they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. Jesus cried and said, He that believeth on me, believeth not on me, but on him that sent me. And he that seeth me, seeth him that sent me. I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in darkness. And if any man hear my words, and believe not, I judge him not. For I came not to judge the world, but to save the world. He that rejected me, and received not my words, have one of the judgeth him. The word that I have spoke, the same shall judge him in the last day. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father which sent me. He gave me a commandment, which I should say, and what I should speak. And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whosoever I speak, therefore, even as the Father said unto me, so I speak.
Okay, number 129, Jesus and the adulterous woman, John 8, 1-11.
Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him. And he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery, in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down, and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he had heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Okay. All right, and then 130, treachery of religious leaders. 3 passages there, but somebody read the Matthew 22, 15-33.
Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians,
Yeah.
saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God in truth. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempted ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, Whose is this image and superscription? They say unto him, Caesar. Then said he unto them, Reader, therefore unto Caesar the
No,
things which are
render.
render, therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. And when they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way.
Okay, and the parallel passage in Mark 12, verses 13 through 27.
And they sent unto him certain of the Pharisees of the Herodians to catch him in his words. And when they were come, they said unto him, Master, we know that thou art true and carest for no man, for thou regardest.
It's actually thou. When you say thou, say thou instead.
Thou regardest not the person of the man, but to teach us the way of the God in truth. Is it lawful to give tribute to Caesar or not? Shall we give or shall we not give? But he, knowing their hypocrisy, said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Bring me a penny that I may see it. And they brought it. And he said unto them, Whoso is this image and superscription? And they said unto him, Caesar. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. And they marveled at him. 18 then come unto him
It's pronounced Sadducees.
Which say there is no resurrection. And they asked him, saying, 19, Master, Moses wrote unto us, if a man's brother die and live, he's upseed unto his brother. Now there were 7 brethren, and the first took a wife, and died and left no seed. And the second took her, and died, and neither left he any seed. And the third likewise. And the 7 had her, and left no seed. Last of all, the woman died also. In the resurrection, therefore, when they shall rise, whose wife shall she be of them? For the 7 had her to wife. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Do you not therefore fear, because ye know not the Scripture, neither the power of God? For when they shall rise from the dead, they never marry, nor are given in the marriage, but are the angels which are in heaven. And as touching the dead, that they rise. Have ye not read in the book of Moses, how in the bush God spake unto him, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. He is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. Ye therefore do greatly err.
Okay, in the Luke 20, verses 20 through 40 passages.
And they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men. And they might take hold of his words, and so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the government. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly. Neither acceptest thou the person of any, but teachest the way of God truly. Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar, or no? But he perceived their craftiness, and said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Show me a penny, whose image and superscription is the habit. They answered and said, Caesar's. And he said unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which be Caesar's, and unto God the things which be God's. And they could not take hold of his words before the people, and they marveled at his answer, and held their peace. Then came to him certain of the Sadducees, which denied that there is any resurrection, and they asked him, saying, Master, Moses wrote unto us, If any man's brother die, having a wife, and he die without children, that his brother should take his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. There were therefore 7 brethren, and the first took a wife, and died without children. And the second took her to wife, and he died childless. And the third took her, and in like manner the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife of them is she? For 7 had her to wife. And Jesus answering said unto them, the children of this world marry, and are given in marriage. But they which shall be accounted worthy to obtain that world, and the resurrection from the dead, neither marry, nor are given in marriage. Neither can they die any more. For they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of God. Being the children of the resurrection, now that the dead are raised, even Moses shewed that when he called the Lord the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. For he is not a God of the dead, but of the living. For all live unto him. Then certain of the scribes answered, said, Master, thou hast well said. And after that they durst not ask him any question at all.
Okay, that word Sadducees, there's a little mnemonic, if you will, something to help you remember how to say that word. Remember that they're sad, you see, because they don't believe in the resurrection. Catch that?
That makes sense.
They're sad, you see, because they don't believe in the resurrection. Did you not ever hear that before? You've heard that before. I know you've heard that. Okay. Anybody read King James like that must have heard that story when they were young. Okay, the greatest commandment. 131, the greatest commandment, Matthew 22, verses 34 through 40. Someone, please.
But when the Pharisees had heard that he put the Sadducees aside and they were gathered together, then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him, saying, Master, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love your neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
And then the parallel passage, Mark 12, 28 through 34.
And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, Which is the first commandment of all? And Jesus answered him, The first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely this, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. And the scribe said unto him, Well, Master, thou hast said the truth, for there is one God, and there is none other but he. And to love him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself is more than all burnt offerings and sacrifices. And when Jesus saw that he answered discreetly, he said unto him, Thou art not far from the kingdom of God. And no man after that durst ask him any question.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I think there's more, isn't there?
No.
Mark 12, 28 through 34.
34, and when Jesus saw him, that he answered discreetly.
Yeah. Yeah, just get that last little bit, I guess. Yeah.
And when Jesus saw that he answered discreetly, he said unto him, Thou art not far from the kingdom of God. And no man after that durst ask him any question.
Okay, all right. Number 132 then. Jesus asked the question, What think ye of Christ? 3 parallel passages, Matthew 22, 41 through 46.
While the Pharisees gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They said unto him, The son of David. He said unto them, How then do David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou on my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If David then call him Lord, how is he his son? And no man was able to answer him a word, neither durst any man from that day forth ask him any more questions.
And the second parallel passage, Mark 12, 35 through 40.
And Jesus answered and said, Why? He taught in the temple, How say the scribes that Christ is the son of David? They themselves said by the Holy Ghost. The Lord said to my Lord, sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. David therefore himself called him Lord. And whence is he then his son? And the common people heard him gladly. And he said unto them in his doctrine, beware of the scribes, which love to go in long clothing, and love salutations in the marketplaces, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and the uppermost rooms at feasts, which devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. These shall receive greater damnation.
Okay, and Luke 20, verses 41 through 47.
NASB.
Okay.
Then he said to them, how is it that they say that Christ is David's son? For David himself says in the book of Psalms, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet. Therefore David calls him Lord. How is it he, his son? And while all the people were listening, he said to the disciples, beware of the scribes who like to walk around in long robes and love respectful greetings in the marketplaces and keep seats in the synagogues and places of honor at banquets, who devour widows' houses and for appearance sake offer long prayers. They will receive greater condemnation.
Okay, next group, I want to split that up. Somebody go 133, Jesus' denouncement of hypocrites. The Matthew 23, 1 through 39, break it at 20, and then somebody else take 21 forward.
Okay. Then spake Jesus to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. And therefore, whosoever they bid, you observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders. But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. But all of their works they do for to be seen of men, that they make broad their phylacteries, and enlarge the borders of their garments. Phylacteries, pieces of parchments, containing sentences of the law, and love the uppermost rooms at feasts, and the chief seats in the synagogues, and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. Be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men. For ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayers. Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte. And when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing. But whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Ye fools and blind. For whether it is greater, the gold or the temple that sanctified the gold? And whosoever shall swear by the altar is nothing, but whosoever sweareth by the gifts that is upon it, he is guilty. Ye fools and blind. For whether is greater, the gift or the altar that sanctify the gift? Whosoever therefore shall swear by the altar, swear by it, and by all things thereon.
Okay, somebody else, 21 through 30.
And whoso shall swear by the temple sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that shall swear by heaven sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth the throne. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithe and mint and an anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides which strain at the gnat and swallow a camel. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisees, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto wicked sepulchres.
Whited sepulchres.
Whited sepulchres.
Yep.
Indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of uncleanness. Even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets.
Okay.
Wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Ye serpents, ye generations of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city. That upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of righteous Abel, and into the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom you slew between the temple and the altar. Verify, I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation of Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest prophets and stonest them, which are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered my children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, what happened? Oh, it was 2:20.
Yeah.
Oh.
You were having way too much fun. The word sepulchres, that basically means the burial grounds. You know, what the design of that is may be different depending on where you are in the world or in Jerusalem or whatever else, but sometimes they're like vaults. You know, if you've ever seen a vault at a cemetery, other times they're buried under the ground, whatever else, but the sepulchres are where people are buried. Well, a mausoleum is a generic title for a large building that could have columbarium. That's the little doors that you put the urn. Yes, thank you. You put the urn in that. You know, it's usually only about that big. I have one of my sister's ashes are in an urn in Fort Indian Town Gap. She was a veteran, so she got to get cooked by the VA or whatever. But other times it's vaults where literally the coffin is put inside this thing that's big enough for a coffin to go into. Certainly the one down Caneo over in Camarillo. That's a nice place to... I like cemeteries. Anybody like cemeteries?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're fascinating places. I think it's fascinating just to walk along the tombstones, for example, and just look at some of the names. You know, for me, it's a little tough when I see that it's an infant. Somewhere in Canale, I don't remember. I haven't been able to find the spot again. It was near the columbarium where they have all those things. But as I walked out, there was a grave site. You know, it was partitioned off, and it had a high school diploma with a name on it. And apparently, I guess it was somebody who was killed before she graduated from high school, and boy, that one ripped me, you know. I think my kids were about that age, and my daughter was about that age as well, and I was seeing that. Never been able to find it again, so I don't know whether they relocated or not, but anyway, I like they're just peaceful places, you know. What I don't like about cemeteries is that they create, what's the word I'm looking for? They create pilgrimages. We have to go there to put flowers on them. We have to do all these various different things. And among some sects of society, I mean SECTS, people want to go there to talk to the dearly departed. Well, the dearly departed ain't there. And so I, you know, for my own personal self, I specified to my family that, you know, take the ashes and tell the undertaker to, you know, fertilize the roses or flush them down the toilet or whatever.
You know, people just dying to get in there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's one of the requirements, you know, but it's also one of the requirements to get. It's also one of the requirements to enter everlastingness as well.
Yeah, that's the door.
You gotta die. You know, you can't get there any other way.
Yeah, you gotta go to the door.
Yeah. All right, somebody Luke 13, 34, and 35.
O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, because the prophets have stoned them that are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, as a hen doeth gather her brood under her wing, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate, and verily I say unto you, you shall not see me until the time comes, and you shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord.
Okay, I think we're going to go ahead and break there because there's quite a bit of passage in the next one where Jesus previews the future, so I'm going to save that for next week.
134 is what we will resume.
Huh?
Next week, that's what we'll start.
Exactly. Yeah. But let me keep writing down these notes that I keep losing when I try to figure things out. Finished here on 6/18, 2018. And okay. And let me dog ear that so that I can remember that. Okay. All right. Do I have a volunteer for closure and prayer?
Oh.
Okay.
My Heavenly Father, we come before you, Lord. I ask you to please bless us as we leave for this class as for now. But what we have heard, Lord, may we put it into use to bring you honor and glory. May we share with others, Lord, that are involved in our lives or who happen to be involved or get involved in our lives. Even if it's just for a minute or a second, Lord, whoever we may have contact with, even if we don't know them, may we share the word, share the good news, the gospel of Jesus Christ and what he has done in our lives, and what he can do for their lives and continue to do for all the brothers and sisters in the churches, Lord. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.